A very good afternoon. Uh, on behalf of FADA GenX and FADA, I really happy that this is a program that the GenX has thought and is executing today. My congratulations to all the GenX members for making this vertical really successful and the most talked about within the FADA circles. So today, we are having this workshop on nurturing the future of auto retail. While we do a lot of events for the Gen X, we really thought it is also important, that the experienced generation or the parents also understand, what it is to bring the newer generation inside, how the newer generation thinks and what it should be, and how it can be welcoming and how it can be satisfying for both sides. It is a question that we, always ponder about on how to make this happen, and many a times we get stuck. So I think this will be a great beginning or a thought starter. We have the session for around 30-35 minutes and then a Q&A. And then also Mr. Chandrasekhar is available here for individual discussions or a group discussion, since we have a break also after this. So I would first request the guests to please occupy the front seats as well. I see a few front seats empty, and request you to please occupy the front seats. I'd like to welcome Mr. T.D. Chandrasekhar on stage. Please join us, sir. I'd also like to welcome my co-chair Rishabh to please join me. So to talk about Mr. T.D. Chandrasekhar, an alumnus of IIT Delhi and XLRI, has more than 32 years of general management corporate experience in India, US and Southeast Asia. He is an innovation consultant, coach and facilitator for leading organizations, and has coached and mentored more than 250 senior executives. He has been associated with various family businesses and has done remarkable work around conflict resolution, ailment on family and business matters, creativity and innovation at promoter level, and strengthening listening and communication skills. His last corporate role was as head of Amaprise India, which he set up for the parent organization, American Express, and ran and scaled it up successfully. He is a regular speaker for events organized by corporates, including the Times Group, Asian Paints, Airtel, American Express, Harvard Business Publishing. He also regularly undertakes courses at various educational institutes, including Harvard, IIT Delhi. He takes a course on creativity for engineers, IIMs, MDI, it can go on. But I think this subject is very close to all of us, our hearts, and a lot of worry for all of us on both sides. As Gen X, we always keep having this question that will my business welcome me, and will the guys in the business who are 30 years old have place for my new thoughts that I enter today? At the same time, the elder generation also have that feeling that, a guy with little bit of study, will he be able to handle all the shit I handle for 30 years? So I think that's really where we start thinking, and that's why the Gen X program. So Mr. Chandrasekhar, all here, all yours from now.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. It's a privilege to be part of this event, and I thank FADA to invite me. So I see a lot of next gen also, and parents of next gen also, are elders, the now gen as we call it, the elder generation. So it's this topic is of special interest to me. I love working with young next generation, and as part of my consulting work, also I like interacting with it. It keeps my brain alert, alive, and I am part of the now gen, you can see. So it's always good to be part of a young team. And when Sachin approached us, I jumped at it. Always good to interact with people of a younger generation. So I was in the other room, the big room, and lot of talk was about change. And let me ask you a question. All of you have mobile phones? Yes, in today's world, yeah. So, and you have somewhere you can write something if I ask you, because I want an interaction, so I'll ask you some fun quiz also. Okay? Done? Now, Jen, are you also okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Huh? Father son. Oh, excellent, excellent. That is a good, combination. Okay. So today is today is 13th January 2022, Friday. So let's go 10 years later. 13th January 2033. That's a Thursday. So the question is A, B, C, three choices. Just write down. What's your choice? Yeah. Again, father and son combination? I can see, yeah, that's nice. Okay. Yeah, father and son? Wow, okay. Huh? Where? Huh? Okay. Wow. No, that's great. That's great. I was just saying in this room. In this room, they are father and son. So I was just saying. But yes, a lot of Indian families have that. It's such a good thing to see. Because 80% of our GDP is family-owned businesses. And if those don't do well, India won't do well. So many jobs, etc., etc. Everything depends on that. So great to hear that. So yeah, how many of you say A? Raise your hand. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of you. And how many of you say B? Yeah, and C? So A and B predominant, yes? No rocket science. Especially in the auto sector. Everybody agrees? Yes? No? So already it's great news for young generation. If there's a lot of change, who's going to take decisions in 2033? Not the now gen. The decisions have to be taken by the next gen. So they need the capacity to take those decisions. The agency, confidence, capacity to think, strategize, etc. The now gen can't just, even if they like, they can't let the younger gen be under their shadow. Because the world is changing. Agree? Yes? No? So the thing has become now simpler. Because even now gen realizes that their own tricks won't work. And the changes are going to be severe. Right? So that makes it easier, this conversation. So even in our consulting, when we do the now gen and next gen, the conversations are far easier. If it was a static world, if the industry like in 70s to 2000 or 80s to 2010, it was a static world. Previous answers could work. But in the new world, in the world in turmoil, few people have answers. Everybody is experimenting, trying new things. Even in the hall we saw, the conversations are nobody knows what's going to happen. They are saying that the stock of EVs currently in the world, the stock, meaning currently all the vehicles on the road and number of EVs. What is the percentage? Any guess in the world? The stock of EVs in the world. Not what was sold this year, but stock. They are saying it's inching towards 2%. But they're saying the growth rate is so huge. One thing is very clear. If I ask you in 2040, what would be the stock of EVs in the world as percentages? Huh? Almost 100. Tending towards 100. Yeah? And a 23-year-old kid won't be that old in 2040. How old will he be? Or she be? How old? Younger than the now gen. So we are seeing a world which is going to change a lot. Agree? Yes? No? Yeah? So this is the world we are in. So the topic is very interesting. How do we develop? We want to be in the... See, everybody will not succeed. It's a bell curve. But we in this room want to be in that minority which succeeds. Agree? In anything. If there are 100 people here, 20 will succeed a lot. 20 will just disappear. And rest will be in the middle. Agree? That's the normal law of whatever, God's law, the bell curve. But we want to be on the other right side. Right? So let me ask you some questions. Again, see this picture, anything interesting about this picture? Yeah, one odd one out. What is that odd one out doing? Huh? Yes, alert. Yes. And by the way, these deers did not go to MBA school, did not attend any conferences. Yeah, it's infused in their DNA. Every herd animal behaves like this. Because if everybody starts eating, what will happen? What will happen? Huh? Somebody can attack, they will attack. And if everybody is looking around, nobody is eating now. Yaar. They will be malnourished. So even the animals know. Even instinctual animals which love food, it's not jumping and eating. We think animals are dumb. You just show something, they'll come and rush and eat. Even animals who love this food, she is waiting. One of them is waiting, or two of them are waiting, looking around. And then they take turns. Why? Because it's ingrained in nature. The survival instinct that I want to survive today, tomorrow, and day after. And that's what wise businesses do. And that's why across the world you will see that if you look at firms or companies which are more than 100 years old, across all continents, almost all of them are family-owned companies. Across the world. Not pure profit oriented partnerships. Provided some conditions are there. Agree? Yes? No? Yeah? So that's what we are trying to discuss today. How can we perpetuate and sustain our family-owned businesses or founder-led businesses over many decades now? Especially when we see that the next 2 decades are going to be extremely choppy. And in every era there will be winners. And we see that winners become even bigger. Right? So when we discuss, when we have these interactions with the next gen, some interesting questions come up. Especially I coach a lot of young generation business executives. So based on this, I have a fun quiz. See, answers, there are no right or wrong answers. I have some slant towards some answers, some bias. So don't take it too seriously, but let me, okay? So everybody just, okay, first question. First question. These are all based on my discussion with NextGen. Lot of discussions over coffee and tea. Okay? So first question. Just write down your answer. Even NowGen can use write down their answers. Take a notepad, just write 1 dash the answer. Any clarification, please ask me. If you think that what does the question mean or something. Okay, written down? Surya, written? Okay, great. So I'll go through all, then we'll ask. Second, clear? Second question. Life is 2 choices. A, adventure and service. B, pleasure, success, fame, Maldives. Huh? Done? Written, na? Okay. Third, confidence. Confidence means A, collaboration, B, my way. See, both have some merits, both answers. These are tricky ones because these are through a lot of conversations, where a lot of debates with NextGen. That's how these questions have come up. These are real life conversations, okay? Fourth, non-violence, basically opposite of anger, all that is a strength, be a weakness. Written down? Okay. Fifth, a good theory means, one, it's a very practical thing. Two, it's a ivory tower. हवा में बात करते हैं यार. It's an impractical thing. आपने लिख लिया? Good. And fathers and sons have to write differently. एक साथ नहीं. And you can't influence your son. You are influencing. अच्छा दोनों नहीं लिख रहे. वाह ठीक है. हाँ influence नहीं करना. The purpose was अलग-अलग बैठने. हाँ. Yeah. Okay. And be frank. Just write down your answer. Don't be afraid of your dad here. Okay. I have experienced a well thought out of induction in business. B, was thrown into the water to learn. That's how my father also did. Yeah? And be candid, a real answer. Okay? Yeah? We are not commenting, judging any generation here. We are just saying this was the way we were here. Leadership means A, inspiring others, B, getting things done. Eighth, by the way, this is one of the biggest weaknesses of family businesses. Nobody gives feedback to each other. Everybody walks on eggshells. Or even if feedback is given, it's top down. So, what? Yeah. So, effective feedbacks means critical for growth and learning, B, critical judgment of performance. Yeah. You can have your own answer, yeah. All this I'm saying is not one-sided. A lot of discussions have happened. Written? Ninth, I have been fortunate to have an inspiring mentor within my family I look up to. Huh?
He can't write B. His father is most of us like
Yes.
How can he write?
Yeah, he can't. See, under tremendous pressure. Your answers, everybody is watching. Yeah. Breaking news हो जाएगा.
Both of them were looking at one.
हाँ वही breaking news. Rishabh thinks.
उसको भी लिखना है तो भी नहीं लिख सकते.
कोई freedom ही नहीं है इसका. हाँ. Okay, 9. Okay. 10th. हाँ. हाँ. Yeah, 10th. Yeah, accountability is willingness to own one's actions and non-actions, or accountability means reporting to an authority. हाँ, both तो हैं. These are based on debates here. These are actual debates with your next gen. Because when you are mentoring them, a lot of issues are around these topics. Okay? So, quick, everybody's written down, more or less. So, quickly just score yourself. If you have said A in any of these, put 1 point. If you have B, then 0. Basically A's. Okay? Because our answers are biased, at least my point of view is biased towards A. Okay? So, what are your totals? Totals. Apna total kar do. Huh? 7. Very good. 8. He has to say 10. 8. Acha, how many? 6? Yeah, 6. Okay. 8. Okay. 6. Okay. So, so those who have less than say 8, any questions you want some discussion around? Anything where you think you wrote B and you would like to discuss? And then we can have a good, huh? Second one. Okay, let's look at second one. Second one. Anyone who's said an A? Anyone who said an A? You said an A? Can you share why you wrote A?
Because if you are just following your success or fame,
Right.
you won't be actually living your life.
Right.
It is about the life is all about balance.
Right.
How you perform in your family, in your business, in your social life and everything.
Right.
So should be always ups and downs.
Right. Right.
So there is adventure, and you have to serve the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Just clap for him. Very nice answer. See, so we are talking here about the next gen who are entering into the business. Maybe they are in the first 10 years of their life. They are understanding the business model. They are building their knowledge. They are building connections. Their father is a big figure, but they are wanting to be one up on their father in terms of creating that connect, creating a successful business model. So the advice usually is first get your basics right. Success will follow. You see interviews of even younger sports people. Agree? Younger Federer, even Messi. First they will say you have to enjoy football or tennis. Federer in fact says that I loved tennis so much I did not care a damn about medals first. It will come if you are super duper interested in that. Agree? So if you wake up every morning thinking that what will I learn tomorrow, the chances that you will succeed are higher, or if you wake up thinking that what will I get tomorrow. What do you think? First one, that's the reason. So that when we are orienting on the next gen, we are saying first get who are you looking very successful people. You don't see behind the scenes how much of learning has happened. Even Elon Musk, he works very hard. Bill Gates, he works very hard. So all these people, even your parents, everybody. Nothing which is truly valuable comes easy. Agree? So that's the only message. We are not saying don't work hard, party hard. The youngsters have this phrase, I work hard, party hard. Do that. Do that. But first, see life as an adventure, curiosity, what all can I learn, etc. Make sense? Thanks. Okay. Yeah, please argue, because next gen has to argue. Has to. It should not give, listen to older gen, yeah? Okay. Anybody else where you gave a B, but you would, yeah, fifth you would want to discuss? Okay. Okay. Anyone who wrote A in this? Either a next gen or a now gen? Yeah, you wrote A? Yeah, just.
See, a good theory practically means that if it's a theory, then in practice it should always be effective.
Yeah.
So and if it's not effective, it's just an impractical bookish thing.
Yeah.
If it's a bookish rubbish, so it's probably an ivory tower. So ivory is like it just looks good, feels appealing, but it's useless.
Right.
So
Right. Again, clap for him. Yeah, it's a good theory itself means that it's been tried and tested. Why do we consider Bhagavad Gita to be such a great book? Across the world, the most practical people have said it's the most amazing book. Right? And why did I put this point? Because today you can't be leaders, the next gen can't be leaders without being good readers. Agree? Yes? No? Yes. Because lot of next gen say, मैं तो YouTube देखता हूँ, documentaries देखता हूँ, ये देखता हूँ, वो देखता हूँ. No. That is passive. Only when you read, you are grappling with things. You make notes, you underline, you question yourself, not just seeing documentaries. All tests prove that just looking at documentaries, you over-evaluate your knowledge. You overjudge your knowledge. Right? So that's why we wrote this, because we want the next gen to be reading a lot. If you are not spending every day looking at Wall Street Journal, looking at the trends, what's happening, who are the competitors, all the time thinking, this is a thinking world now, knowledge economy. Whichever business you are in, it is going to be a knowledge economy. Yes? No? Yes. A strong yes? Yeah, yeah. So that's why we wrote. Okay? That books, it's not being a nerd, it's a survival now. You have to be up to date, you have to keep reading, you have to get the best magazines, best journals, keep reading in your area of business, whichever area you are. If you are in components, you have to keep reading about components. If you are reading about vehicles, different types of vehicles, you should have in your fingertips. Right? And yeah.
Reading is different from listening. Supposing I've listened to audio,
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
What is different?
See again, this session is not about that, but what I believe, I'm old school also, but a lot of my friends also say, teachers, I interact with teachers a lot, they say when you write something, the neurology of our brain is it sticks more than when you just read. And when you hear something, you are distracted a lot of times. You think that you are going for a walk. You put an audio book. The chances that you are not concentrating is much higher. Much higher. And it's very tough for you to write down your notes then. Right? Even, for example, one of the most digitally minded person, Bill Gates, recently, there was a conference. What did he pull out? A piece of paper and a pencil here. On stage, he is writing on piece of paper and pencil. Because he suddenly got an idea. He is writing. He could have taken his stylus. He could have taken his e-pen. But he did not. Because he's used to it, one. Two, even school teachers say when you write, it strengthens. It's like learning by doing. It's closer to learning by doing than just passive. So if you can imbibe, great. If you can imbibe, great.
This generation, they don't write. They just type.
They type, yeah. They type, absolutely. So typing is maybe better than just hearing. I'm just saying that. If you are reading a book, you are typing your notes, do that. But reading, definitely my own bias, you can contest that. Reading, you retain much more than just seeing a documentary or walking with an audiobook. You retain much more. And also in today's book, there are such interesting things which you have to think about. They put some questions at the end. If you read the book called Thinking Fast and Slow, there are some puzzles there, etc. If you don't interact with the book, then you're skipping the most important parts. While walking, you can't do those. If the question says, the book says, okay, now think for 2 minutes. What are the trends happening in your industry? While walking, you suddenly won't start thinking 2 minutes here. You are just off to the next chapter. Yes, no? So these are some of the things. That's why we say that generally the quotation is, every leader today is also a good reader. The quotation. The quotation is, again it might be a biased quotation of previous generation. But at least learning continuously is a must. Whichever mode is comfortable to you. Agree? Yeah? Any other last question, then we'll go ahead. I have a couple of more things to discuss. Oh, sixth one? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sixth one. You wrote B. Okay. Who wrote A? Who wrote A? Yeah, absolutely. I want to see the reason. No, it won't be common. It won't be common. I'm just saying that, I'll tell you why I asked this question. I'm saying that if you, suppose Sachin says A. Where's Sachin? Sachin was saying A. Yeah, Sachin was saying A actually. He said by 16, he was 16 when first he attended FADA. By 16, he was already working in his family business. He used to go part-time and sit. And his parents, etc., started sensitizing him towards that business. Versus, suppose a child was in the boarding school abroad. I have some clients where the child has been on boarding school from age 10. and by age 14 outside India. Then after doing 2 degrees, come back home at age 24. So he's been out of India for 14, 15 years here. How do you expect that person to start heading a business in Baroda then here? Which the parent wants. Without any cultural sensitivity, without any, you are not comfortable with the context. So if that has happened, the challenge is more, not that it can't happen. But he needs to work a little more. The family needs to work a little, that's all.
So that is why next gen I will try to put it in.
Yes, excellent. Because remember this guy's quote, Vivian Richards' quote. There was a quote by Vivian Richards recently about Virat Kohli. He said, Virat Kohli reminds me of my younger self. And when the interviewer asked him why, he said, when Virat Kohli enters the ground, he is so comfortable with the context. It is as if he is a lion who is so comfortable with the jungle. He knows every seat in the stadium. He knows where the scoreboard is, where all stands are. Everything is known to him. He is that comfortable in the ecosystem. It's as if he was born to play cricket. Now that increases the chances of success a lot. When a person feels so comfortable with the context. Now a child who has gone abroad for almost half the life comes back. Is the child comfortable with the context in India? How can the child be? No friendships, no linkages. Even his aunts, uncles and all, he just looks at as strangers. Perhaps in summer vacations, 2 weeks, he's just interacted with them, etc., etc. So it will take time. If you don't plan out for him, then it's very tough to transplant. That's the only reason we have given this, okay? So great. So no comment on that. If it's happened to you, great. And any other question? Make sense?
Sixth one was very important, very good question.
Yeah, sixth. Okay, sixth.
Sixth one.
Sixth. Yeah.
This is very important.
Very, very important. And can it be done well? Yes. Lot of role model stories. One of the pictures I'll just show you is, let me show you. This is Mukesh Ambani's interview. Mukesh Ambani, again, Dhirubhai, a genius. And one great thing he did was, it's very tough for a businessman of that stature to have son equally successful. It's very, very difficult. Across the world, you will see very few combinations in any field. In any field. Very few. Like you might have Harvansh Rai, Amitabh or Allah Rakha and Zakir Hussain, etc. Some physicists are there. Very few. And he is one of those few. So we can learn from these people what they have done. Because it's a very rare combination. So he says that, again, like Sachin said, at age 14, 14th birthday, one of the business person I was interacting with told me that it was written, he read a book on Chanakya and Chanakya wrote it. So I have not confirmed it. I just have anecdotal, that person telling me. He said Chanakya wrote that by 14 a child matures. The child starts getting their own personality by 14. So Chanakya says that start teaching him political warfare, this warfare, that, whatever, how to survive in the world by age 14. So he says Dhirubhai knew that. This guy was telling me. So I don't know what is true, but intuitively Dhirubhai formally called his child on his 14th birthday to his office and said, from today you are my equal partner in this. You can debate me so that you also develop. At home I am your father, but in office you are my partner from today. How many people do that? Very few. So we can take a lot of best practices, yeah. So coming back to, okay. So this entire thing is about perpetuity and sustaining our businesses. We all the now gen wants their children to succeed, become very famous, popular, very successful, have a very happy life, etc., which parent doesn't want, right? So its perpetuity of a family business is highly influenced by capability of its next generation, and the good news is that lot of stress has been put into education. Even in this room, lot of the next gen is highly educated. And lot of you actually have studied abroad also. And parents have invested in education. So the footing is very good. So India shining will happen. Next 10-15 years, one of the business person I was talking to, he's from Indore, he was saying that next 10 to 15 years, India will shine like anything. And Indore will also be one of the best spots in the country. He was biased towards Indore, but yeah, India will shine next 10 to 15 years. Because of parenting. Lot of peace. This country has lot of education. Parents devote lot of energy and time on their children. Even if their style is sometimes not okay, their intention is their child should do better than them in India. Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, we started business, we grew the business.
Yeah.
We grew the business. No, we are a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
Like the generation next, they are coming up with new ideas.
Right.
We might lose whatever we have made.
Right.
So this is a little bit fear in our mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my question.
Yeah.
So how to deal with it?
Yeah. No, this so his question is that as next gen or older gen? Older gen?
Older gen is afraid that the next gen might spoil the business.
Right. See, yeah. As human beings, the more you are attached to something, the more afraid you get. One. So you're attached to your children. It's logical that you will want the child to not see hard days, child to succeed even more than you, protect whatever has been done. And all psychological theories prove loss aversion is built into us. We don't want to lose. Losing 1 rupee gives you 10 times more pain than gaining 1 rupee. It's built into us. But in tomorrow's world, if you won't experiment, won't try out in an uncertain world, you are ensuring your child fails here as a parent. So that awareness has to happen in the older gen, because I am not going to be there in 2040 when the world is completely different. It is my child who needs to take decisions. He'll be competing with his set or her set. So the child's competence has to grow more than my fear. My fear has to be lesser than my drive that my child has to become competent. You know what Dhirubhai Ambani did in US, what Mukesh Ambani says? In their first US trip when he was 19 years old, they had gone on a cross-country drive, some 1,000 miles in some remote place. He dropped off, in one of the petrol stations, he dropped off Mukesh Ambani. And he said, come back to New York. Did not even ask him how much money he had in his pocket. Now that is I don't know what.
Is it a true story?
It's a true story. I read it. In fact, these are what I'll try to dig up, because this was the Economic Times. Now he might be lying in Economic Times also, I don't know. See, a lot of people now, when they become popular, they retrofit their backstories. But he is, what he does needs guts. And guts don't come in one day. It might be true, it might be false. But these are all anecdotes we'll keep learning about our previous generations here. What all happened. But the point is that we want, I'll just, can you hand over the mic to him? You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is the fear on the next gen's competence, or is the fear that you are not able to train the next generation?
It's a general fear that my father, means I was, came up with some ideas. My father was afraid that, and now even we are afraid that the freshers have come. I don't know how successful they will be. Okay, so it's a general fear. I think it must be in most of us.
Yeah. No, but it's legitimate. Let me show you some one slide where I have put across the fears of the. Okay, this is the challenges which the current generation faces. These are the conversations I have with next gen. But let me go to challenges of the elder generation, your generation. Okay, the challenges which when I talk to the parents, what all do they say? These are some themes, not the complete set. One theme I keep hearing is that I wish my child has the fire in the belly I have. He takes unusual number of holidays. When I ask when, how many, then it comes to 30 a year. I say any executive takes 30 a year. Yeah? But he says, I have never taken a holiday in 10 years. He said, Saturday ko factory nahi jata. Etc. etc. All this is, yeah, these are common themes. Right? So next gen, so elder generation wants this, that passion and drive in the belly. Again, coming to his point, did you inspire that? It's too late at age 25. All this is done much before. You were very busy, but you did not even go to your parent-teachers meetings. I have such scars in next generation where they say my dad never came, never once came to our school. Then how will that relationship build? Where you are inspiring stories about hard work, this, that. Yes, no? You know? So, yeah, it's not too late. I won't say it's ever too late, but I'm saying that these fire in the belly is a deep thing. In startups, people work here. Youngsters work 20-odd days. Same youngsters work in Goldman Sachs here. They go to Goldman Sachs, and when I ask my friends, their children are working non-stop. One father tells me, my friend, my child non-stop for a deal worked for 36 hours. My own sister, a doctor, worked for 30 hours non-stop in Ramanor Lohiya when she was an intern. So youngsters work as long as they are super interested. They are doing FIFA gaming all night here. They take Red Bull and pata nahi kya kya, and yeah, they can when they are, yes, no, yeah. So we have to inspire, make it very, very interesting. Second is respect. My child needs to know how to respect the uncle, this, that, etc., etc. That respect is missing. I never questioned my father. That's a common theme in India. I never questioned my elder brother. My elder brother one evening came and told me, you will have to shift to Jaipur. I shifted without asking. My wife, मैंने कहा आपकी wife से पूछा था? My wife need not dare. So that was the generation. And yeah, this was all 25 years back. Now he says, my child, etc., etc. Yeah, we are running short of time. Yeah, quickly, let me go through. So yeah, elder generation have issues. Yeah, and younger generation, for this to work as a good team, younger generation has to learn the context, cultural context. Right? Otherwise you will not survive. You see Ranveer Kapoor saying, Shahrukh sir, the role model hep star, says Shahrukh sir. Why does he do that? He knows to survive in Bollywood you have to do. You have to pay respects. Otherwise the elder generation will kill you. The producers, the studios are all an elder generation. So if you don't understand the cultural context, how will you survive? Same person in US will not do it. Yeah, almost 5 minutes or over. Story over. So, yeah, so this is the challenges of the next generation. And then, yeah, so Yeah, any questions? Yeah, questions? No questions also. Okay. So thanks a lot. It's been anybody who has time. I'm still here for next half an hour. You can still talk to me. Yeah. This topic actually can go on. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic.
So I'm sorry, we had a very small 30, 40 minutes, sir, and sir always said, he said it's a very small time to actually give you the context. It's just an introduction. We'll be having a one-day seminar. We are working with GenX and him how to go ahead, and then we'll request you all, if you are interested, to join back. He is still here. The passenger vehicle panel has started, so if you want to go there or talk to him, it's open. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining this.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chandrasekhar, for this engaging and interactive session. May I now request immediate past President and Chairman, FAD Academy and Research, to please felicitate Mr. Chandrasekhar. And can I request Sachin to... Mr. Chandrasekhar would be available here for the next half an hour. If any of you wants to chat with him offline, please feel free. Thank you.